What's up, everybody? What is happening? Welcome back to another video. Okay, so the New York Times decided to write another hit piece, another propaganda nonsense as usual. This time about a 26-year-old man that goes by the name of Caleb Cain or something like that. He's a college dropout who was looking for self-help, and he turned to the internet, to YouTube, where he discovered certain YouTube content creators such as Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro and Stefan Molyneux, and he was radicalized, and he went down the rabbit hole of the alt-right, as it was quoted in the article, and he became this some kind of neo-Nazi or something they're trying to say from watching YouTube videos of some of these people. Now, what they did was they used a collage of imagery from some of these YouTube content creators, and they put that on their on the article itself. And when you read the words that they use, if you play a word picture game, you can associate the names, the faces, with the words that they're using. It was a nice little trick to try to paint all of those people as being alt-right and radicals and extreme far-right wingers. Okay, I'm going to get into the article. Before I do, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. Please help me grow my channel. Let me just switch over to this scene. Let me get to here. Now, as you can see, it says Caleb Cain was a college dropout looking for direction. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. You guys know I'm terrible with names. He turned to YouTube. This article is about the alt-right on YouTube. About an individual who was watching alt-right videos on YouTube. They have Ben Shapiro. They have Jordan Peterson. They have Dave Rubin is on there. They have Steven Crowder. It's funny. They have everyone. Oh, they had Milton Friedman as well. They have everyone but actual alt-right members, which I think is hysterical. They have Milton Friedman there, who died in the 90s. The only time we get to see him is when we watch old videos of him on YouTube, and he's usually always discussing the economy. The reason they put him into the mix is because he's a Nobel Prize winning economist, one of the most famous economists to ever live. He was very, very, very libertarian, very on the right when it came to economics. Was not a left winger, was not a socialist, was not a communist. It made great sense when he spoke out against that side. So naturally, the New York Times and the lefties want to put him on that list as an alt-righter, as a Nazi. Meanwhile, he's Jewish, which is amazing. And they want to paint him in that light to knock him down, as if his ideas of capitalism is wrong when he's actually 100% right. That's why he's a Nobel Prize winner in economics. They have Dave Rubin on the list, who is Jewish, and he is gay, but yet he's some kind of alt-right Nazi. They have Ben Shapiro, who's also Jewish, who was the #1 target in, I think, 2016 or 2017 in online attacks against him from the alt-right. They have Jordan Peterson, again, not an alt-right member. He's really more of a classic conservative. He's a conventional or traditional conservative. Nothing extreme at all. In fact, if you listen to what he has to say, you will not find any extreme coming out of his mouth unless he's talking about the extreme coming from the Marxists and the postmodernists and how dangerous they are, because they are very dangerous. Steven Crowder's on this list, and the worst that you could really say about Steven Crowder, because he's another traditional conservative, the worst you could say about him is that he's a comedian and he makes fun of people. He insults people. I mean, that's like the worst thing you could say about Steven Crowder. He's a comic. I mean, this is just insane. So they have Alex Jones up there. They have Stefan Molyneux. They have Lauren Southern. They have Ganis McGinnis, Paul Joseph Watson, a few other people on the list that they're all putting into the same category as alt-right members and stuff like that. Let's go down and let's scroll down. Now, this is the amazing thing, that when you scroll down, because you want to see what else. Let's scroll down. Let's see. You scroll down and images start disappearing as new words pop up. Soon he was pulled into a far-right universe, watching thousands of videos filled with conspiracy theories, misogyny, and racism. And look at the people you have left, making a connection with these individuals and the words on the screen. You just now said that these individuals are conspiracy theorists, misogynistic, and racist. That's essentially what you just said by doing this, New York Times. So the funny part is, if you watch any of their videos and listen to what they have to say, you don't hear racism and misogyny coming out of their mouths. As far as conspiracy theorists, you're talking about Alex Jones and Paul Joseph Watson, I guess, you could throw into the mix. The rest of them, I don't know anything about conspiracies. It's funny how the word racist is there, and Milo is there. He's a gay Jew married to a black man, lives in Miami, probably in like South Beach, in a very prideful area. I'm pretty sure. But yet, misogyny and racism and stuff is thrown out there. Lauren Southern is there on, pictures of her. I don't think she's misogynistic towards, I don't think she's misogynistic at all. I mean, let's be real. This is just nonsense. If you keep scrolling, as you keep scrolling, images start disappearing. Let's pull up the next words. I was brainwashed, and look who is left. Look how they do this. Look at the games that they play. Now, I do occasionally listen to Stefan Molyneux. I don't hear anything coming from him that is so dangerous. Some of his ideas I can agree with. Some of them I think, they're just not for me. Alex Jones, I don't mess with Alex Jones in any way, shape, or form. He's not for me. I don't do the conspiracy theories, and he is way too loony for me. Milo is good. I do like Milo, but Milo is there to trigger people. He is there to rile people up. He is there to get under people's skin. That's what he does. He does have the political debates and the political talk, which he is very good at, but at the same time, he does it with a different style, and he does it more like Steven Crowder, more of a comedic style than you have Lauren Southern. Either way, if you are brainwashed by any one of these people, I don't think these people are the problem. I think you are the problem. I'm not going to get into the article because it is pretty long, but as you scroll down, you can literally pick things out of this article that is trying to destroy the right wing's argument. They're trying to take our concerns, our real concerns that we really do have, like concerns of like it says here, cultural Marxist and feminist, things that we understand are poisonous ideology. We speak about them all the time. By bringing that up and saying that, it now makes us a far-right member. Of course, if you support cultural Marxism and feminism and stuff like that, then you are a hero, you're brave, you're very passionate. You're none of those things, right? You're none of those things if you think cultural Marxism is bad, which is, it's terrible. It's disgusting, to be honest with you, which makes me an alt-right, by the way, right? I'm Jewish with biracial kids, but I'm a member of the alt-right and the Nazis and stuff like that. Because I understand that cultural Marxism is a disgusting ideology. As you go further down, there's other words tying those faces together, like neo-Nazism and bigotry, and we can go on and on with the words that they use: radicalization, right-wing creators, far-right creators. As you go down, there's more and more and more. They just literally put these people. They mentioned a few people. Let's see. There's a spectrum on YouTube between the com section, the Walter Cronkite, and Carl Sagan. Okay, no, nothing in that paragraph that's off the wall. But as you go further down and you read what language they're using and what they're saying, they're clearly trying to tie in Nazism and alt-right and all that stuff with all of the people that have the biggest traffic on YouTube, Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro and stuff like that. Now the thing about that, I read this article a couple times, and I didn't notice that when you scroll down, the images disappear and some are left until I watched Tim Pool's video. I like Tim Pool, and then he pointed that out. But I noticed that on my screen and his screen, it was different. As I scrolled down, I noticed that as the images changes, it was different images left on the screen. When on his video, it was Philip DeFranco, who was left on the screen by himself. In my video was Stefan Molyneux. So I don't know if there was a change. I don't know if it's just different maybe it's different for everyone. That's just the way it is. I can't explain it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or nothing, so I'm not going to just make something up. But that's where I learned that, and then I scrolled down and I saw it myself. I'm a little upset now. I watched Tim Pool and I watched the video. I watched Styx do a video on this. I'm a little disappointed because the two of them were not put on that list. And I like them. I watch their videos all the time. I'm surprised that I'm a little upset that they weren't considered, good enough to be lied about, good enough to be to be defamed by the New York Times and make that list. Mark Dice also wasn't on that list, and I love Mark Dice. I watch him every day. I'm like, this is insane. How come you didn't? How come you're not talking shit about some of my favorites? You should have put them on that list too. Why didn't you call Mark Dice a Nazi, you son of a bitch? They should have. He probably has more. He probably has a much bigger following than quite a few of those people that did make the list, and they didn't put him on. So I don't know. I guess they're picking and choosing who they believe to be. Ben Shapiro. Who the hell calls Ben Shapiro a far right extremist or radical or an alt right or anything like that? That's insane. He's just a conservative Jew who likes to argue with people through the internet and on college campuses about politics. Like, how the hell is he a far right? I mean, and Jordan Peterson, Dave Rubin. Who calls Dave Rubin an alt-right member? That's just insane. He has the Rubin Report. He invites people to come down and sit with him and talk to him, and these are people from all walks of life. Some of them, most of them, half of them don't even agree with him. That they're liberals or whatever they are, and he just sits down and he has this open space of ideas of free speech, and we just sit down and have a conversation, and that's it. That's all it is. Like, how do you make a connection with Dave Rubin in any kind of extreme viewpoint? I mean, it's sickening. Now, Styx and Tim Pool said that they believe that this is, both of them said it independently, that they believe this is being done not politically, but is being done to go after and try to knock down their competition, because these individuals are receiving a lot of traffic online, and it's stealing traffic away from the New York Times and all the other liberal media, and that they're trying to knock them down and trying to pull back more, pull more of an audience in by labeling them as such to where, try to scare people away from them. And no doubt that I'm pretty sure that that's definitely, behind why they would write such an article like this, why they would write such a hit piece and scare tactic. But I do believe that it also is very political. It's probably a combination of both. It's, this is a political attack, a political hit piece. At the same time that they're trying to knock them down and scare people away, so people won't visit their sites anymore, won't visit their YouTube channel, and try to steer people away from them so they could they can gain more traction and pretty much have more traffic. So it is probably a business decision as just as much as it's a political hit piece. Either way, this is the New York Times, and it's very irresponsible on their part in so many ways. The New York Times is really nothing more than a propaganda activist newspaper. They're like what the Catholic Church is to religion and to Catholicism. That's what the New York Times is to liberalism. That's like the head of their their church or something. It's like them, and the university is like the big churches that run the whole religion of social justice and liberalism and stuff like that. So it's terrible. It really is. I don't know how the law works in this situation. I don't know if there could be a class action lawsuit for defamation of character. I don't know, but if so, I think that they should at least give it a shot. They should all get together, speak to a lawyer, maybe start a class action lawsuit against the New York Times for something like this. Very irresponsible journalism. You don't expect that from the New York Times. They are the holy grail of journalism in our country, and yet every day they're proven more and more and more to be nothing more than a propaganda activist bullshit paper straight out of George Orwell's 1984 novel. Okay, that's all I have for you. Just wanted to share that with you guys, my thoughts and opinions on this nonsense with the New York Times. I will see you guys next time, and take care.